Welcome to Renovating Riches Radio Podcast. Today, we have a special business partnership show up in our podcast. JR, Reed, and Andrew.
I'm a guest too.
And,
well, at least I feel like.
Finally, Dennis decided to show up. So, no, it's actually, to recap a little bit, we were just talking offline that, last year we really didn't focus on our podcast that much. Even though we create a lot of content, we were focusing on our businesses. So we had a lot of setbacks, flips that went wrong, contractors leaving, changing offices. So we were just catching up on that. But now this year, we finally got a new office in the Chinatown area in Houston. And it's my pleasure, actually. You guys are going to be the first guests.
Oh, nice.
In this new studio.
Well, thanks for having us.
No, my pleasure. We've actually done a couple of deals together now. And, I wanted to bring somebody that that people can relate to. Because you guys only been wholesaling for a little while, right?
Yeah.
So before we get into it, who is JR? Who's Andrew? Who starts?
Go ahead. I'll go ahead. So I'm JR Reed. I worked in corporate America for 10 years and doing corporate sales, like B2B sales. I had 2 different jobs. I came out of school. I sold copiers and printing equipment for 4 years, and then I left that and I went and sold software for about 5 years. I got tired of corporate America, and about 2 years ago, we started talking about investing together and buying rental properties. And we're like, oh, let's go buy rental properties. And we start looking on MLS and going that route. Well, we realized that we couldn't really get any good deals off MLS. And so we start going to all these different networking events and learning about wholesaling and that kind of stuff. And I'll get into the rest of that later. But anyways, I got tired of corporate America. A buddy of mine showed me how to wholesale deals. He does a lot of flips here in Houston. I approached him one day. I was like, hey, my job's not working out right now. I'm not happy with where I'm at right with these guys. I'm going to go do wholesaling full time. And he was like, well, why don't you just do wholesaling and start feeding us deals, and then we'll just build a wholesaling company. Right. And I was like, okay, because he compliments me in great ways, and I compliment him in great ways. We have different strengths. And so,
JR, let me interrupt. So, sorry to interrupt you, but let me take a step back. How did you guys met?
Yeah, so actually we went to undergrad together. So we graduated from University of Houston, did our degrees there, and we were in a program that was focused on entrepreneurship, and so we were on a team where we had to open a burger stand and kind of like sell burgers on campus, and that was kind of our first little thing that we did together.
For sure.
Okay, so you know each other from
college.
School.
Okay, I didn't know if you were working at the same sales.
Sorry, I didn't give that background.
No, that's fine.
When we both graduated and kind of did our own things, we always said it, and we're going to do something together. We didn't know what it was or how it was going to turn out or when it would be.
Okay.
And then, like he said, about 2 years ago, we said, well, let's start investing, and then we kind of learned about the wholesaling side. I was like, let's actually build a company around real estate
So
investment.
which route did you take when you graduated?
So when I graduated, I went and did a organic waste recycling company. So I had a buddy of mine. Organic waste recycling. So we would take in vegetative waste, food waste, grind it up, compost it, and bag it, and then sell it to different stores and nurseries around the state of Texas. That turned into a pretty successful company. I'm no longer a part of that organization, and now I'm in corporate America, finance, doing that sort of stuff currently. But
it's great because you're hustling 100%
right.
on the real estate side,
right?
But you still have a stable job to where you guys are not like being dentists. We're trying to chase every income opportunity that we can get because this is what we do full time.
For sure.
And that's why I find interesting about you guys, because a lot of people they think, oh, we got to just go all in, right? And all in means I'm gonna go quit my job, and you guys are actually gradually transitioning. Dennis actually gradually transitioned as well. I was the one doing it full time, and he still had a job as a civil engineer, making a good chunk of change.
Right.
So it was kind of hard to leave that behind.
Yeah.
But one day he figured, he's like, yeah, I'll just make the transition, right?
For sure.
So I can see us in you guys because you guys are sort of
taking the same path.
The same path. The different, the one thing that we would have done differently, probably now that we know more, is we would have never went into the flipping side. We would have probably tried to straight wholesaling. But we didn't know how to wholesale.
Right.
So we didn't have a mentor on wholesaling. We sort of kind of like figured it out on our own.
For sure.
And that was kind of the benefit. Like early on, we didn't know what wholesaling was, flipping, that sort of thing. So we were kind of pursuing everything or trying to figure out everything and really taking the time to kind of refine what are we actually going to go after and stop getting distracted by things that are sparkly over here. Oh, we could do this and make $1 here. We could do this and make $1 here, because there's a ton of ways to set up your business or make money in real estate. And so we kind of took the time to figure out what really were our core competencies, what could we really build at, and what we were going to go after.
We're still figuring that out a little bit. I mean, we're
you
growing.
will. I mean, it's an ongoing process.
It never ends.
Yeah.
It never ends.
Yeah.
Once you think you got it figured out,
Something changes.
guess what happens?
Everything changes.
Life throws you a curveball.
A little curveball, something different happens, a new strategy comes up or whatnot. So
now let
For
me.
sure.
I'm just curious here, Andrew. You mentioned that the venture you were working at prior, the organic composting thing, was going really well.
Yeah.
So why didn't you decide to grow that, since you already had the experience, and just bring JR? I'm just curious.
It wasn't something where I had an equity piece in, so it was something we were building an organization and building it well and being compensated well, but it wasn't something that I had real skin in the game.
Okay.
And so that was kind of the thing that was missing in that venture.
Right.
But it taught me a lot, gave me a lot of skill sets, a lot of confidence. So
Cool. All right.
yeah, especially you on the sales side.
Yeah.
I can see you're probably more of a systems guy financially, and you go and get deals, sell deals.
That's exactly how it works.
So you see, we didn't have to ask any questions to figure it out,
Exactly
but
how it works.
it's actually a pretty good partnership the way I see it.
For sure.
Until the day you decide, or until you guys grow the business big enough to where you can sustain both of you very well,
For sure.
So what does how was that? What was your first deal? What do you guys do? Do you guys buy a house or wholesale a house? What was it?
The first deal. So going back to how we got, how I learned about wholesaling. So I have a buddy here in town. His name's Michael. He flips a good amount of houses. And I started off going to auctions with him every month to help him buy houses, because he was buying enough houses there that he has to have multiple people there buying houses. So then I started hearing him talk about how he's buying houses from wholesalers. And I was like, well, could I go find you a house and you buy it for me? And he's like, yeah. But I was like, okay. So we started knocking on pre-foreclosure doors immediately. And I was telling him, hey, this guy will buy houses from us, so we just should go find a house and sell it to him. So our first deal was from a pre-foreclosure, knocked on her door. We didn't know what the heck we were doing. We fumbled through it, got her to sign a Trek doc, and brought it to him, and we were like, how much would you give us for it? And he's like, oh, y'all contracted it too high. You got to go back and redo it. And we ended up negotiating with him. We're like, no, there's no way. You just got to make this work. And so we ended up, after it was all done and said, we ended up making $2,000 net off our first deal. But
it's not that bad for a knocking on door and not knowing what you were doing anyways.
And we were both working full time at this time.
Yeah,
so
we were
door knocking on the evenings, all day Saturdays, all day Sundays. we're gonna figure this out.
Door knocking.
So we would literally just get the pre-foreclosure list, download it, sort it, and then just go knock on as many doors as we could in a weekend.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
what's even funnier is we didn't even know how to look at equity and that kind of thing when we first started doing it. So just getting a deal was a total fluke.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it worked.
It worked.
So
What would you recommend people thinking about driving for dollars? They're going out next weekend, first time. Some things that because I know door knocking is tough.
It was a little intimidating.
A lot of slam doors in the faces, a lot of that stuff.
Did you get guns pulled out and stuff like that? You did? Oh my God! Can you tell some of those stories?
For sure. Yeah. So I had 2 different times I had guns pulled on me. So the first time, it wasn't a big deal. I went and knocked on this door, knocked on the house. Nobody was home. So I leave, and as I'm leaving, I see another car come by, and I see them turn into the driveway. And I was like, oh, they're home. So I turn around, I go run up. Me being stupid, I run up on the guy when he's getting out of his car.
Oh.
And I didn't run up on him, but I kind of walked up on him. And I was like, hey, man, how's it going? And as soon as he gets out of his car, he's like, I'm doing good. How are you? And he pulls his gun out like that. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just played it cool. And I was like, oh, this is why I'm here. And I told him everything like that. And he's like, I'm getting off work. He's like, but it's kind of brave of you to walk up on me on my driveway like that. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I shouldn't have done that. But he was really nice. Told me to just go ahead and buzz off and and leave.
Say, like, hey, dude, if you change your mind, call me. Okay, I can save you. I can help you not go through foreclosure.
Yeah.
The second time I got a gun pulled on me, it was not nearly as nice as that.
That's nice.
No, it was not nearly as nice. The guy, I went and talked to the guy, knocked on his door. He was like, no, I'm not interested. I'm good. I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. He seemed cool. So I'm sitting in front of his house trying to figure out, like, look at my laptop, put in a note for that address, like he's not interested, trying to figure out where to go next. Next thing I know, I hear somebody yelling outside of my truck, and I like look to my side, and he's at my door, and he's got a rifle in his hand, and he's like, you need to get the F out of here, yelling at me. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and drive off and figure out where I'm going next at the parking lot down the road.
Which is the next house.
Yeah.
So I guess lesson learned right there for people like listening to the show. It's like once you're done, talking to someone, just leave.
Just leave.
And do your homework about next house down the road or a parking lot somewhere safe.
For sure.
Because some people, what would he? You were in. I guess you were in the street already.
I was in the street. Yeah.
Not even his property.
I don't know. He obviously had mental issues, I think, because he was cool, like calm. Everything was cool with me when I talked to him, and then
he snapped.
Like literally 2 minutes later, he's yelling at my car, like telling me to get that.
Wow.
Okay, so that's lesson learned. Write it down.
So when did you guys transition from door knocking into something else, and what was it?
So
it was a little while. I mean, we started engaging in the community, and that was one thing that's really kind of helped us, our education, in terms of advice, what you would say for someone like going and driving around. We didn't know what we were doing or where we started. We just found a foreclosure list, bought it online, and went out there. There are so many tools, so many apps, so many things that you can use now to kind of help you even target the right things, that just a little bit of research and homework on the front end would help tremendously in terms of what you're spending your time on.
For sure.
What do you mean when you say you started engaging with the community? What exactly? People started recognizing you when you were around these?
Just going to meetups.
That's how we met.
That's how we met.
We met on networking.
I thought they were saying engaging with the community where they were driving for dollars. Their target.
The real estate community.
Real estate community.
Networking events and the meetups and kind of the educational stuff and everything we heard, we're like, let's go look at that, just trying to understand and like who's doing what and what are they using. And that's one thing too, is everyone is extremely nice, everyone's got their own lessons learned and that sort of stuff. And so when we share our story, like, oh yeah, we did that, like
for sure,
that sort of thing. So.
It's funny, like plugging in with somebody like you guys and Ricardo, and just being able to come to you guys and ask for help. And shoot, since we've done a deal together, I don't know how many months ago that was the first time we did a deal together. We've learned so much from you guys.
Yeah, we don't hold anything back, right?
For sure.
So that's why we do this kind of podcast too, to educate other people that, hey, it is possible. There's plenty different ways to skin the cat. There's plenty different ways of doing it, like you guys are doing it. You have your job, and
for sure,
you're kind of like heading the business, from an acquisitions, disposition standpoint. You're handling systems. So that way everybody gets an idea, oh, maybe that business model works for me right now.
For sure.
Not necessarily, I really like you guys from the point of, you guys are doing what, 2 to 3 deals a month right now, maybe 4.
Yeah.
But you guys only been doing this for how long?
So
wholesaling.
Wholesaling. So we did our first wholesale deal a year ago in like December.
So I would say it's taking you roughly 11 months to get to where you are today. And now you've been transitioning from door knocking into other forms of marketing that you've learned by going to all these different networking events, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Ricardo is doing mailers. This other guy is doing cold calling. And you start like picking what you want to use, and then you try it. And then if it works, perfect. You kind of like grow that. If not, then you're like, ooh, I don't like this one. I'm going to go for the next one. How does that look like today?
So kind of going back to your question you asked just a second ago too. So we transitioned from door knocking. And we'd go to these events and we'd hear, oh, we're doing direct mail. Oh, we're doing cold calling. Oh, we're doing texting. And I was like, man, you never hear people talk about Facebook. And I was like, I know there's a way to get deals through Facebook.
Oh, we did it. we just didn't say much about it. But you can see a video that Dennis has. It's got like 150,000 views.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I had checked on it like in a long time.
Yeah, and I have a video that's got 100 and...
The one in Spanish you're talking, right?
Because you did the one in Spanish, I did the one in English.
Okay.
But yeah, they got hundreds of thousands of views. We just kept on putting money on that.
Yeah.
And every time, because we used to go to houses. We don't go to houses anymore, but we used to go to houses. Every time we showed up at the house, the lady would be like, I saw you on TV.
Yeah.
And I was like, TV?
Yeah, there's some older people
Exactly.
that they
TV,
think
so.
YouTube is like TV. you know?
Yeah.
It's true.
But man, YouTube is actually, I mean, not YouTube, Facebook, it's tricky. They just changed the algorithms
All
and the
the
way
time.
you do the marketing again. So
Yep.
you're kind of like playing catch up all the time with them.
Constantly.
All the time.
I was just building an ad last week, and I was lost. I was like, how do I build my ad? Like, where's my audience? You know, and then
Talk to Andrew about it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
yeah, he probably figured it out already. You know, but I mean, they're changing. Facebook is changing every couple of months. So
Yeah, it's changing every month.
So
really.
you started doing Facebook ads, and
We got quick success from doing Facebook ads, and then Facebook started changing things, and it slowed down for a little bit. But then I joined a couple mastermind groups online who do Facebook marketing for finding motivated sellers, and through those masterminds, we've been able to keep up with exactly all the changes in Facebook, being able to keep up with the algorithms, that kind of thing. It's not like it was when we first started. I mean, you could spend like $200 and get 2 deals.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore. I mean, you're still having to spend some money and a lot of time and effort, but that's the majority of our deals are coming through Facebook right now.
So wait a second, you mean you have to spend money to make money?
Yeah.
That's not how I heard it works.
It's not how you heard it works.
I think the last house we got through Facebook, we spent $600.
$600? That's not bad.
We got one house.
That's good.
And it was actually a good house in Houston that we sold to our friend Tony. But that was the last time we did a Facebook campaign, and then we started focusing more on cold calling and you know, text messages, and we're about to get back on letters and postcards because we figured everybody's cold calling, so why not go try the things that nobody's doing right now, which is mailers, right?
Yeah.
But they work. It's just more expensive
For
up
sure.
front, right?
For sure.
But
Well, you and I were talking about this last week, and you were saying, I was asking you, what are you doing for marketing right now? And you're like, literally, we're still having calls coming in from our mailers that we sent out.
Every now and then we'll get something that, you know, we mail. Dennis and I planted at least,
It was hundreds of thousands.
I mean, it was hundreds of thousands of letters and postcards.
Really?
So I remember one month we sent 80,000 just one month.
Wow.
So there's so many of them planted out there that every now and then we'll get somebody to call.
For sure.
And that's we've always we knew this. You know, that's a main difference between direct mail and everything else.
For sure.
Everything else, direct mail, it's kind of like permanent.
Yeah.
Once you send that letter, someone will put it in what do they call it, the rainy day drawer or something, and you never know. You might get a call from a letter you sent 3-4 years ago, and we have. Every other form of marketing,
Disappears.
It's gone.
It disappears.
Right.
You hit them once and it's gone. If they really want to find you, unless they took a screenshot of your Facebook ad or something, it's gone.
Yep.
So, but you know, they all have their pros and cons, and
For sure.
But yeah.
So once you go through Facebook ads,
Yep.
then okay, you're getting houses through there. Then do you decide to add another marketing portion to it, or?
For sure. So that's what we're actually building it out right now. We're going really heavy into cold calling and texting. We've been hiring people over in the Philippines. We spend a lot of time really training them up and focusing on that. We've kind of come up with the belief that if we can really hire rock stars and train rock stars as cold callers, that it'll help us stand out compared to other people who are cold calling. Because I feel like we're getting deeper conversations with people and that sort of thing compared to just calling up and saying, hey, are you ready to sell your house? Oh, okay, thanks, bye.
Good.
So you ask them how's the weather? And
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, like you just have to. I mean, that's what we train our guys. Like, hey, you have to connect with these people 1st. That's first and foremost. Don't even talk about the house until you connect with them.
Yeah.
And then you go ahead and talk to them about, okay, I know that you're on this motivated list. Let's talk about that.
Did you develop your own script, or are you using somebody else's?
So I've like hodgepodged John Martinez, Brent Daniels, and
Yeah, you create a
my own.
hybrid.
Yeah, it's a hybrid.
Let's create a little monster.
you put it in the blender. and
Yeah,
something
put it in the blender.
Something comes out.
That's what came out. That's good.
It's got to be genuine, so you got to have your own little kind of flair to it.
Yeah,
but
if you're using somebody else's straight up, then if somebody else's calls, then they're like, man, they both sound the same.
yeah,
for sure.
And which most likely both of them will call the same person.
Yeah.
If they're targeting the same area or the same motivation.
100%. We call the same people. They tell us all the time, oh, I've gotten 20 calls about this, and y'all are the first person I've talked to about it. I'm like, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
So you just got to be that one person.
Yeah.
Good.
And put the effort, because I mean, one thing I'm learning from listening to your story, and again, for people listening to us, this is another lesson learned. If you're gonna copy someone, at least put your own flavor into
You have
it.
to.
Totally.
Tweak it a little bit. Don't just go through life copy pasting, and think that things are gonna work because it worked for someone else.
Right.
You need to tweak it a little bit and put your own ideas and thoughts, or mix, like you were saying, take some people's material and make it your own by
For sure.
combining and don't just think that I'm just going to copy 100% of what this person did and I'm going to get the same exact results, because
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
There's
Yeah.
everyone you talk to, everyone's willing to share everything, and you know that you've got to cater it to who your salesperson is. I mean, their salespeople, that script might work really, really well because they've trained on a certain avenue or a certain trajectory or even the list that they're targeting. Whereas like with our guys, they have a certain way of talking or something that comes across more genuine. So you've got to take what people give you and they'll share it with you, but you've got to cater it to exactly what you're focusing on. You
Yeah.
can't just expect to copy something and get the same results.
Even when we were doing a lot of direct mailing, I mean, our website had the templates,
Yeah.
and some people say, I want template 1 or 2 and send 5,000 letters and that's it.
Right.
Some other people will come and say, hey, I went on your website and I took this paragraph from template number 1, this from number 2, and then I'm adding this that I found out. And you see that and it's like, oh, cool,
Yeah, they put
you're
effort.
putting a little bit of effort, to make it work.
For sure.
But some people just want to do the bare minimum effort and expect the most results.
Yes.
And life just doesn't work that way on any level. Being a corporate America, having a job, your own business, it doesn't. Even raising your children, it doesn't work ever. You put the least amount of effort, you're gonna fail dramatically.
You get out of it what you put into
Exactly.
it. For
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely.
Good. So we're becoming at the end of the first show. We're going to actually do a back-to-back with Andrew and JR.
Cool.
Don't forget to hit share, like, and subscribe. RenovatingRichesRadio.com. Leave us a comment. If there's somebody you want to see, let us know. If there's a topic you want us to cover, let us know. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Thanks
All
a
right.
lot.
Bye,
There you go.
everyone.
Bye.